Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Going flying again. Yay, good morning, Charlie X-Ray Alpha 001. Morning, boss. Thanks very much for the stream. Appreciate the auto host from the other folks in the Canadian Express. So, going flying, I think. Early morning here in Charlottetown. Well, taking off out of Halifax International, same rough area. Taking advantage of the dawn. I think I'm flying down to Boston. That should be pretty. So we'll do that. So I'm just going to go through the startup process here on the aircraft and then get ourselves plugged in and get in the air. So let's go through this. Okay. So, oh yeah, first off, we're gonna wheel chocks, entry, cargo. And stairs, there we go. Oops, wrong button. So, yep, we're good to go here. Nice looking plane. I just hope it doesn't bite me on this flight. I've been having troubles with it. Alright, let's jump back inside here. Alright, so battery switch on. That's the first step. Voltage amp selector on battery. Yep. Voltage minimum of 23 volts. We're at 30, so that's all good. Bus ties set to auto AC auto DC. Yeah. Standby inverter arm and standby generator armed. And that thing's going to keep binging until I squelch it. Yeah, I heard you. Generators 1 and 4 off reset. Yep. APU generator on. There we go. And then, where is it? On. There we go. And up here we are set to APU, so that's all good. External AC doesn't apply. There we go. FGC select. Should be today is the 27th, so that's a 1. Ground ignition should be A for odd days. Hey folks, thanks very much for all the auto hosts, much appreciated. And then anti-skid, auto spoiler, and lift spoilers. There we go. Pack 1 and 2 switches should be off. They are. RAM air should be shut. It is. APU air should be on. It is now. Flight deck cabin temperatures, auto cabin fans. There, a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. Cabin air, that's all good. Fans. Auto, that's all good. Hydraulics, we want the AC pump on, and the PTU switch on. It's electrical, hydraulics, there we are. AC pump on, PTU on. Nav lights. On. Flight instruments checked. Yeah, everything looks lit up. Annunciator test. Looks good. Inertial navigator needs to be turned on. Alright. That's aircraft reception done. Good morning to whoever's just joined me here on the stream. Alright, we're ready for engine start. Now I gotta figure out where I'm going. So I'm gonna get the pull chocks on the aircraft. No, actually I'm gonna not. I'll hold off on that while I'm programming in. So I think I'm doing Boston. I think that's where I'm going to fly this morning. Plan Halifax, Logan International. I think that's right. That's a VFR flight. Yeah, I don't want a VFR flight. Okay, we'll do this then. No, I don't have one for an IFR pre-done. Okay, so we'll just do this the hard way. Plan. So we're going CYHZ to KBOS. So it's 358 miles, so I'll want to fly at 34,000 feet. And check my aircraft stats. 34,000 cruise is correct. Yeah, those all look good. Climb, I'm going to climb it, cruise at 280. Touchdown is 150. Climb is at 240. And save. And OK. And a route plan for me. High altitude airways, yes please. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Oh, I forgot to plug in the METARs. Where's my... There we are, Connect Flight Simulator. This may change the... yeah. This may change the calculus there on the... I'll get it to actually remove the auto route and start over with the new weather. Nope, same calculus. Very good. Whoops. God, I'm clumsy today. Come on now. Okay, waypointing again. I really wish it wouldn't do that. There's no reason to do that. So... Okay, so I'm going to scrub waypoint 1 and waypoint 2. So waypoint 1 is going to be replaced with... there's Zubag and Medic. So... And then... Oh yet, so... And then VTAV. No. Stop. This is a VFR, this IFR flight. There we are. Save that. That's better. There we go. So that'll get us down there, and then I'll sort out the in-flight once I'm on the other end. Okay, clear 2,000 kilos reserves, thank you. Cruising altitude is 340. Index, load fuel. Ident. Yeah, we're all good. Load ATC route. No active GPS route. Oh, okay. I thought I'd done that. Okay, there we go. So, looks like departing runway 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this flight. May we remind you that all seat backs and tray tables need to be in the upright position. All carry-on items brought on board must be securely stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. Prior to pushback from the gate, please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. Personal cellular telephones may be used while parked at the gate with the main cabin door open. We will advise you when they must be turned off.
K-Boss arrivals coming by J Fundy, probably.
By the words, "No children this row," please review the white safety card in the seat pocket in front of you. The use of some portable electronic devices is prohibited while on board the aircraft. Once airborne, you will be advised when the use of approved devices such as personal computers and compact disc players is permitted. A complete list of approved devices may be found in the magazine.
And which one are you? You're 15 right. J Fundy 15 right. Yeah, okay. That works. And then I want approach for 15 right. ILS 15 right. There. I'm going to have to sort this out a little bit, but So from Wober, then I fly out to GDM and then start my approach. Okay, I can do that. So I'm coming on J-Fundy 1, transitioning at Canal. Where's... okay, they don't list it. On deck, Ponct, and wait. Where's on deck? There's Wober. No. This is the worst part about this gig. Okay, so what I want is 15 right. Next. ILS 15 right. Yeah, ILS 15 right. Transitioning via Wober at GDM? Yes, transitioning at GDM. There. Okay, let's pop through this here. Legs and step. Aha, we have a problem. So, Batica. So I... now, Wit up, and then it goes to Batica. Where is Batica? Least favorite part of this game. There's Gardner. So it's GDM. Badka. I'm not seeing it. Alright, let's do the... So when I get to canal, I need to slow down my steps here. So we're going to hit legs again. So Mythic. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this again. Mythic. Vitav. Acadian. Tusky. Canal. From Canal, I go to Widup. Yes. After Widup, it goes and that's kind of around, that's about a 240. Yeah, it's not showing here, which is the problem. There it is. So then I'm up here. Okay. So Widup to Badka. Sure. After Badka, I go to Wachu. Wachu is Badka. So the step to Wachu is broken. Oh, Wachu is more up and right from Badka. Wachu is there, so okay, so it's up to here, up to there, Sam, Adam, Sam, Adam, then Sam, Adams, out to GDM. Cool. All right, so that's a valid route. Okay, so we're pretty much good to go at this point. I can sign into VATSIM and get cooking. So RJ1H. And nobody's awake. Sure. Flight plan. Departure time will be in 20 minutes. So that's 11:45. It's a 1-hour flight. Cruising at 34,000. 280 knots. And save. And this is... Yeah, I already had one that did that. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that's fine. And file. Alright, load CA cars. Report a flight plan. Here we go. We are logging and logged in. And looks like essentially just me in the neighborhood. So that's fine. Network's quiet this morning. Alright, so we're good for flying. Alright, now, so at this point we are good for startup. Good morning everyone, welcome to the live stream. Alright, let's get started on this. So, close cargo doors, pull wheel chocks please. Those guys should leave here in just a moment. Then we'll go for pushback. And we're going to close our air stairs. And then we're going to... So there's the doors all folded up. Very good. And close the main entrance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just closed the main cabin door. All personal cellular telephones must be turned off and stored
Alright,
for the
and
duration
pushback.
of the flight. Flight attendants, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, and verify straps.
Now I'm going to pop this onto my other monitor so I can see what the hell I'm doing. It's not a complicated... Halifax isn't a complicated airport, but it is a little squirrely sometimes for if you can't sort of see around you. And we'll push back.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you on board this flight.
Yeah, parking brake is off. Did that intentionally, thanks.
To the flight attendants while we review safety information about this aircraft. Your seatbelt should be fastened at this time. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. The exits are marked with red and white exit signs. Please locate the two exits nearest you, keeping in mind the nearest exit may be behind you. This aircraft has extreme path lighting, a change in color on the exit sign when an aircraft reaches the exit. Should oxygen be needed, masks will appear from the compartment above your seat. If you are traveling with someone needing assistance, put on your mask first and then offer assistance. Your life vest is located in a container beneath or in some cases between your seats. If needed, inflate the vest just prior to exiting the aircraft by pulling the red tab on the front of the vest. A safety information card with more detailed instructions regarding this aircraft is in your seat pocket. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not allowed in the cabin or laboratory. All laboratories are equipped with smoke detection systems, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying these systems. As we get ready for takeoff, please help us prepare the cabin by making sure all carry-on baggage is stowed, all seat backs and tray tables are upright, headrests are lowered, and footrests
All right.
and monitors are stowed.
Stop pushback.
Customers are required to
Stop
observe
rolling the
all
plane.
and lighted information
Parking brakes back on.
and adhere to crew
Acknowledge the squawk. Hydraulics all off. Fuel panel checked.
airborne shortly.
Yep, we got fuel. Lights and notices. Let's do that. Actually, I'll leave that one off. There we go. Air conditioning is required. Done. Thrust levers in the off position. Yep, they are. Altimeter set. It's done already. AC power. Doors and windows are closed. Trip speeds. We'll take off under redo mode. Keep the noise down because it's awfully bloody early in the morning. Set our trims. I need a trim 4 for takeoff. That gives us into our green zone. The aircraft needs a nose down trim for takeoff. Beacon is on. PAX and APU air off. PAX are off. APU air off. Engine anti-icing on. Brake fans off. Yep. AC pump off. Did that earlier. Yep, that is off. Fuel pumps on, because engines work better with fuel. Start panel set. Whoops. And start master. And I think I may have just scrubbed my computer. We'll see here in a moment. That'll be kind of aggravating if I just scrub the computer. Nope, we're still good. It's early. And engine start on 1. Okay, we've got ignition on engine number 1. And okay, cool. Starter cycle is complete. There we go. Starter still running. There we go. Going for engine 3 start. Howdy folks, good morning, welcome to the stream. Here we are, engine 3 ignition. Just give me a sec, I'm just checking something here real quick. Yeah, no, that's all good. Juice that a bit, and okay. Alright. Engine, okay, starter is done on that engine. Engine 4 start. And engine 4 ignition. We are good. start power off. Okay, we are alright, and so that's cool. Start panel is set, engine anti-icing is good. Now we need to turn our generators on. We're gonna switch engine 1 because it's an odd number day. External AC off, brake fans on, okay, brake fans off, hydraulics on and checked. Where's my hydraulics? Come on now. There we are. Heaters on. Anti-icing, because it's minus something out there. Speeds are set. Engine APU. Packs. Alright. Alright, so we're ready for taxi. Let's get this bird rolling. Just about on schedule for takeoff, so that's all good. So I need taxi lights. Fasten seat belts on. Yep, just making sure here we're all good. Yeah, we look to be good. All right, let's get rolling. Little bit of extra fuel. Aircraft actually will start to roll pretty easily, which I like. And rolls pretty well on the ground, which you have to be careful of. It will happily get away from you at 40 knots on the ground. And while we're taxiing here, I gotta set my my numbers up. And that's exactly what I mean. I was doing. Let's slow the plane down a bit here. Oh, stop that. Flaps all the way down. Flight director on. Now, just checking the background stuff. Yep, I am logging. And I am in on VATSIM. We're good. Hey, Grim Reaper. Welcome to the channel. GTX, yeah, this is, by the way, this is Flight Simulator 10. It was released 7 years ago, so I suspect your GTX 950 would run this just fine. I'm offhand not sure. I can't remember which video card I have. That drives me nuts. But it's an NVIDIA. It's a 950, I think I've got. Yeah, no, I think I've got the same card you do. So yeah, and I've actually got some texture pack updates and stuff loaded. Oh, no problem, man. That's what I'm here for. Just while I'm taking off, I tend not to be looking at the chat screen so much, so sorry if I'm a little slow on the draw here. And we're going to want to set our altitude 10,000 feet initially for transition. Actually, we'll step to 5,000, then we'll step to 10,000. Moncton's not awake, so we'll just do this by ourselves. I'm crap at taxiing, by the way, as you can probably see. Alright, let's get back inside the aircraft here. Alright. Adjust the seat here so it's a little more comfortable. It's a 1-hour flight from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Boston, Massachusetts. So we'll be cruising at 34,000 feet, 280 knots. The aircraft is the British Aerospace Avro RJ100 in the Canadian Express livery. So we're going to hold short here before coming onto taxiway, before coming onto the runway rather. So holding short, parking brake on. We're going to take a quick look around, make sure we don't have to worry about incoming air traffic. Sun's just coming up. So, takeoff procedure, brakes, flaps, done, trims, checked, configuration checked, yes, controls checked. MWS is done, landing lights, I always forget the... so, that on, there we are. Okay, so we're good. Onto the runway we go after another quick look left and right, and we may as well turn the glares down. Sun's coming up. And yeah, no other traffic. Nobody coming into Halifax. Not that I'm surprised. It's awfully bloody early in the morning. Brakes off. This aircraft absolutely hates it when you come up to full throttle from a stop, so you gotta step up through the engine power cycle. And when you cross 30% power, there's a turbine alarm that lights up to let you know you've just done something dangerous. And if you keep doing that, you will start flying. So the first alarm you'll hear is going to be perfectly normal. Alright, here we go. Yep, I do want to fly. I'm okay with that. Thank you. Going to full power. drift on the runway here. Come on.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate. We are in the air, ladies and gentlemen.
Clouds and green. Gear up. V2.
Alright. Nav 1 engage. And LNAV, VNAV. Aircraft computer has the plane. Gonna raise flaps. We're gonna change our view here. Yeah, this is looking good. 1,800 feet and climbing. Started our turn.
Flaps up.
Flaps all the way up. Engine into climb mode. And we are on our way. And there's that beautiful Nova Scotia sunrise, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we are clear to go to 10,000 feet. Alright, after takeoff, gear is up, flaps are zeroed. Engine air on. APU air off, it is. Packs on. I think they are, but just, yep, packs are on. APU can go to stop. Now let's be okay. Yeah, I'm a generator, so I can APU stop. We're in the climb mode. PTU to the off position. There we are. PTU is off. Pressurization is on. Lights, and we're good. Okay. Next thing I need to worry about is once we get to descent. Alright. That was almost like I know what I'm doing. Not quite, but just like. Alright, so we're going to be on a 240 for a while. So I'm going to zero my, my course bugs. For now. And I need to go to 240 over here, just as my heading back up. 7,700 feet, still climbing, 2,000 feet per minute rating. 240 knots across the ground. 27 knot wind, minus 7 degrees Celsius. Okay. And we are Okay, we'll be at 10,000 here in just a moment, and so we're just going to go straight to 34,000 now. Continue the climb. Hello, plane. What are you doing? A little bit of rough.
The use of approved portable electronic devices is now permitted.
Ah, okay. That, yeah, okay, so you're hitting a speed line. That's fine. Continue to climb. There we go. All good here. Nav radios. Now, let's just quickly go take a look at something. So there isn't a... Yarmouth is... What's that? 113.30. Okay, we can do that. So 113.30. Standby. And then I can clutch that in. So I've got, okay, that's nice. That gives me that gives me an ahead DME and one behind. So this is the east coast of Nova Scotia. That is the Atlantic Ocean you're looking at out the port window. And out the starboard side, that is Nova Scotia, Bay of Fundy, and then New Brunswick. And we've just hit our next waypoint. And that's going to be progress. Looking good here. So that's what, 265 thereabouts. Set that up. Crossing 15,000 feet. 14.9, and there's 15,000. So we're a little less than halfway to cruise. Okay, this is all... Yeah, okay, that all looks right. Yep, everything up there is looking right. Sorry folks, bumped the mic. what I usually do is stay in the cabin until I hit top of climb. Once I'm at cruising altitude, then I usually pop outside and let folks and sort of see the sights and stuff until it's time to begin descent, and then switch back into the cockpit. There's just enough going on even during cruise that I don't like missing anything. And hey, Grim Reaper, thanks very much for the follow. Much appreciate that. Alright. Cruising right along, 17,000 feet and climbing. One second here, just... There we go, altimeter. Okay, so METAR just came in. And shout out to Athanatos and Grim Reaper for the follows. Always like to say thank you twice. Just that way I'm sure I've done it at least once. Alright. So this is looking pretty good. I do need to be careful when this aircraft gets up around 30,000 feet, because of the way the Rolls-Royce turbines work. It tends to start to struggle a little bit around 30,000 feet if my airspeed's too high. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. I might have to manually throttle back, but that's alright. I've had some excitement at 30,000 feet with this plane a couple of times, usually on a live stream, so... 109.90. So I want 113.3 here, and we're just going to switch that in now. We're not tracking Halifax anymore anyway. Okay. So that's 77 nautical miles to Yarmouth. Once we cross Yarmouth, we will be out over the Georges Banks area, basically a stretch of water between Nova Scotia and Boston. And it'll already be time to start worrying about coming down. So we'll take a look at that when we get there. Airspeed holding very easily at 240 knots, so that's good. 22,000 feet, climbing steadily, 2,000 feet per minute. Alright. What? Okay, so what's... That's Gardner, which is 110.60. Let's see if I can't get that one now. Nope, don't have track on it yet. Hopefully, we'll pick that up probably in the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes. For a 10-year-old game, it does manage to be fairly pretty, huh? Well, not a 10-year-old game, it's 7 years old. Came out in 2010, so... And then there's a couple of texture updates that are DLCs for it, which I've added. But still, the core render engine's 2010. Sun's well up past the horizon now. Oh yeah, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Don't need the landing lights on up here. And there's no one around us. 206.0 for the DME down there. How we doing here? Alright, 25,000 feet, still climbing. .25 miles to Yarmouth. Still no track on the VOR DME in just outside Boston, but that's all right. Hello, welcome to the stream. Now, I suppose the next thing I need to worry about is when I'm coming into Boston. What I claimed I was... Okay, stop that. What I was claimed I was planning on doing was runway 15 right, yeah? Yeah, so that's course 150. And it's a true 150. Okay, well, we'll just set this up now. And then I need to double check the runway ILS frequency for the locator. So that's a 11070. So 11070, sure, we can do that. So 110.70. 110.70. So that's all ready to switch into. So our ground speed currently is 310 knots. We're flying with a 46 knot headwind. Outside air temperature, nose on the wind is minus 36 degrees Celsius. We're 10 nautical miles back from the Yarmouth VOR. So, and about halfway through our flight. So I anticipate being on the ground in Boston in about a half an hour. Now, while we're flying here, let's take a look at something. Gonna pop up to here, and what's the KBOS? What is the weather in KBOS? It's a 121 wind at 14 knots. Okay, just above zero, that's nice. 87% humidity. Okay. All good. What we're going to do here is we're going to import a flight plan and open. There we go. And that preloads all our weather for along the route. But yeah, okay. So wind is 09 099, okay. Not horrible, but not bad. It'll be interesting when they get the route finder built into this one. I'll be interesting seeing what, if it comes up with radically different tools for route determination. Okay. But that gives me my weather, so we're all good. Did a flight the other day flying from Saturday. Did a flight from Montreal to Halifax, and just got the crap kicked out of us at 34,000 feet. The wind was almost 80 miles an hour and swinging back and forth by up to 45 degrees. And just beating the plane all around. I actually had to step down to get approval from the air traffic controller to step the aircraft down to 23,000, just to get it out of that wind. It was actually very difficult to fly the aircraft. Had turbulence bad enough at one point we dropped 5,000 feet in just a couple moments. So got permission from the air traffic controller who was watching the sector to drop 10,000 feet and just stay there. He said that was fine. So that was nice, but yeah, a little more challenging than I was interested in. Coming up on the Tusky waypoint. And we're just about flying over we're over Yarmouth County at this point. So, yeah, in fact we are over water now. So, I'll show you where we are. So that's the Yarmouth area that we've just passed. So we'll pop back to our other map view and center up. So we've just passed the southwestern tip of Nova Scotia, and we're now on our way to Boston. So there we are. Yeah, we're the headwind is slowing us down just enough that we won't hit cruising altitude before we have to go into descent. So, oh well. the headwinds making it hard for the jet to keep the airspeed up. So we keep leveling out to regain a little bit of energy before starting another climb phase. So we should have been at cruising altitude 5 minutes ago, but yeah, 50 knot headwind. Okay. Good. We've got still tracking. That's still tracking Yarmouth. Okay. So our centerline fuel tank just ran dry. This is okay. Don't worry about that. The RJ100 comes with 3 fuel tanks, 1 in each wing, and then a centerline tank. And so what happens is you essentially pump fuel out of the centerline tanks. The jet engines run off the wings, but you're constantly transferring fuel from the centerline tank out to the wings to maintain the flight profile of the aircraft. So it's going to whine a little bit, but yeah, just ignore that. We're fine. We've still got 2 hours of the fuel in the wings. Aircraft burns about 2,000 pounds of fuel an hour. So. And here we are at Tuskegee, or Tusky, depending which way you want to pronounce it. On our way to Canal. And that should be top of climb there in just a moment. Good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining me. So that area over there, I think, is Bangor, Maine. Everything in here is looking the way it ought to. And I had planned on cruising at 280 knots once I got to cruising altitude, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. It looks like that's right up. That'll wind up a coffin corner if I'm not careful. So what I'll probably do is switch out of VNAV to level change and thrust management. And we're going to increase our rate of climb slightly here, 500 feet per minute. And I'll step it up to 250. So I'll cross canal at flight level 340, and then I'll be descending to 18,000, flight level 181, on the way to Widup. So that's going to be a pretty steep descent, but we got a lot of time to burn altitude, so that's all good. Ground speed is 320 knots, 327, so we're making okay time. Crossing 3,000 feet, on our way to 3,100. And I'm going to switch this radio over now. Shouldn't get track anytime soon, but that's fine. Looks like 260 is going to be about the limit of what I can push the aircraft today. $33,000. All right. Yeah, we're 47 knot headwind with almost minus 50 degrees outside on the nose. So bloody cold and bloody breezy.
Folks, this is flight deck. We just level off at cruising altitude. As a reminder, even when the seatbelt sign is off, you should keep the seatbelts fastened at all times while seated. This is an event we hit some unexpected bumps along the way. Right now, all we ask is that you sit back, relax, and enjoy the flying and flight service. Thank you.
So it looks like with that wind that my operating speed is reduced to 240. That red bar would be the point at which my turbines would have problems handling the airflow coming into the turbine. And then I start having all kinds of power issues and the plane stops liking flying. And as I say, I've had plenty of excitement in this aircraft at 34,000 feet, and it's almost invariably because I'm overspeeding the aircraft. So we'll let it crawl up around 240. I'm going to keep it dialed back to 240 even, and that'll give us 5 knots-ish worth of wind speed. The wind is actually picking up slightly. We may need to dial back even further. We'll see. Good morning and welcome to the live stream. On our way from Halifax to Boston. We're just 30 miles south west of the tip of Nova Scotia. So anticipating being in Boston in about 20 minutes. Okay, so yeah, it's minute 31. It's anticipating minute 48, so yeah, 20 minutes ish. Gotta keep an eye on that. That's going to be a problem. The wind's now is flying into a 60 knot headwind at this point, so speed restriction at 240 knots. So our speed over the ground's not bad. It looks like we're pulling 348 according to the dial over here. So even with a fairly heavy nose wind and a bit of a speed restriction due to turbine considerations, we're still doing plenty fine. What's going on here? Okay, just a barometric update. Looking pretty good. Now, I have curious. What's the wind on the ground here? Okay. So, for where I am, what was the METAR? I had checked the METAR for Boston. And Boston was going to be 121 at 14 knots. Okay. So it'll be coming from over this way. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. That's not a bad choice for... Yeah, because 9 zeros here, 1... Yeah, okay. That's actually a good approach wind. Good. Very good indeed. This aircraft has trouble stopping. So if you're landing with a tailwind of any kind, you can run at a runway in a hurry. I'll just do a full flaps landing, I'll be fine. Oh, excuse me. Had to get up at 4:30 this morning to drive a friend of mine to work. Whoa, hello there. Just dumped a whole bunch of speed. Dumped a whole bunch of speed and 1,000 feet worth of altitude? Yeah, okay. Yeah, 2, 3... Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt. Thank you.
I don't know what that was. I suspect it was just a weather boundary between the Moncton Air Traffic Control Zone and the Boston Air Traffic Control Zone, but just in case we're going to get a repeat of the joy we had the other day. Now, legs. Yeah. So I want to cross canal at 34,000. And the barber pole is completely gone. Well, no, it's lurking just above 240 knots. So the plane will slowly climb itself back up to 240. And that'll be, again, that's the upper edge of turbine operation right now. Or safe turbine operation, anyway. Oh, hello. Yeah, getting beaten around again a bit by weather changes. Coming up on canal. think I might start my descent to 18,000 now. Yeah, I think let's start our way down towards 18,000 slow time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's a VATSIM network problem. What's happening is the network is misidentifying where we are and keeps changing our actual location, which trips the aircraft. So we're going to go level change, get this plane down below below 28,000 feet. That'll get me out of my turbine overspeed. $240 knots, please. Let's bleed some speed here at 1500. Yeah, working on it. Working on it. Need to get this plane below 260 knots, or I'm going to start, or I'm going to lose a turbine. Okay, good. You can actually flame out the turbines on this aircraft. And that's exactly what happens if you overspeed them too long. But my revs are still good, so I don't have a fire out. And I have never actually tried to restart turbines on this plane in the air, so I know it's possible, because there's a button to do it, flight start, and continuous ignition, but I do not know, but I've never actually tried it, so frankly I'd rather not do it on a live stream. Okay, we're on 33,000 and descending to 28,000. Speed restricted to 240 knots. Alright, that's better. That's better. So the Boston VOR is 112.70. I think I'm going to clutch that in over here. 6. Nav radios is 112.70, and there, and switch. We got DME tracking now. Yeah, we've got good DME. Now I just need to 110.70 is my approach for the locator. That's good. You can see now my because I've come down just the 5,000 feet, the edge of my turbine threshold has gone up a bit. There's the turn at the canal waypoint.
Ladies and gentlemen, to prepare for landing, it will be necessary to collect all service items, as well as any other items you wish to discard, such as newspapers.
Ah, okay, that was 28,000, so now I need to continue descent to 18,000. 18.1 is what I want to cross at. It should be 18.2 because you're supposed to keep evens. So I will say level change. And now, because we're noticeably lower in the atmosphere, you'll notice I've got more clearance, so I can operate at a higher turbine speed. So still pushing a 70-knot headwind, and pushing into a 70-knot headwind. Outside air temperature is minus 40 degrees Celsius. At minus 40 degrees Celsius, a cup of tea thrown in the air does not land on the ground. It freezes. You throw tea up, a cup of hot tea thrown into the air winds up coming down as ice cubes. That's what minus 40 degrees Celsius does. Yeah, we should cross at 181, we'll cross at 182, but that's fine. And then we're going to immediately be changing down to, and changing speed to 220, and then immediately changing to 10,002 as our target. And I'm going to change my zoom speed here. Oops, there we go. That gives me 20 knots to the edge of the scope, 10 knots to the mid-ring. So that's 112.70. That gets both. That gets, okay, cool. That gets left and right side ready for transition. And there we are at 18,002. 30 nautical miles to go. And we are way over speed. Hello, what are you doing, plane? 280, 275 is plenty fast, thanks. 315 and I'd leave a turbine behind. Alrighty. Time to get back in the aircraft. Things are about to get busy. Alright, so let's dial my display down to... There we are. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. That's more what I wanted. 10 mile window. And I need to start stepping speed down to 220 knots. So that's the airport down there. So now what we need to do is bleed a bunch of altitude. Basically, we're going to overfly the city, bleed some altitude, turn around, come back, and we should be coming in at this runway here. Okay, descending to 10,000 feet now. Need to be above 10.2 when I cross that my next checkpoint. Oops, there we go. Alright. Hey, good morning, Amaki. How's things treating you? Things are going okay over here. Just wrapping up a flight into Boston. Getting better at flying this plane, thankfully. All right. Descent procedure. PTU needs to be switched to the on position, and then start triggering landing flaps. Where's PTU on? Oh, hello. That wasn't welcome. What just happened there? Okay, getting beaten around by weather. I need to be down at 220 knots, not 230, thanks. In fact, I'd rather be around 215. And then I can drop. Okay, this is going to be easier done from the other side. Cockpit, first officer. That's flaps coming out. You can see the flaps coming down. That'll make speed and glide path a little bit more manageable. A little bit of I can't tell if it's network issues or if it's weather. Like if it's legitimate weather or if it's just artifacts of the VATSIM network. But yeah, had a couple of fairly bouncy weather changes. $215, please. Thank you. Stop arguing with me, aircraft. Okay, here's the tip. And now I need to be descending to 7,000. Yep, thank you. 7,000 even. Whoops. First time trying to fly a proper star or standard approach, coming into K Boston, and it's kind of interesting exactly how the star works. It actually makes things a whole lot simpler once you understand how they work. The idea is that it's sort of, they've worked out all the math. As long as you cross the following checkpoints at the following altitudes, you'll always be on the right course to come and altitude to pick up the ILS coming into Boston. So apparently most airports have stars worked out. That's how most commercial aircraft fly. I'm just still learning how to do that, so. Okay, coming across Wachu, I'm supposed to be at 220 and 7,000. I'm going to be a little slower than that, I think. And I'm in fact going to take the opportunity to drop my flaps another notch. I need to be going in at 30% flaps, I think was the approach information I need. Approach 33, yeah, flaps at 33 and 127 knots. That's slow. That gets us down to 7,000 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing, please return all seat backs and tray tables to their upright and stow position.
Come on now,
Ensure
landing
all
lights
portable
on.
electronic devices are turned off, and stow all carry-on items. Additionally, footrest and video monitors must be returned to their original position. Thank you.
Okay, that's looking good. Start up the APU. So that I have emergency power if I need it. Crossing Sam and Adam. I'm at 7,000. Then I cross GDM. In fact, when I cross Adam, I should be able to switch on. In fact, I will switch on ILS over here. Yes, I have DME off the runway. Fantastic. So I can switch on, and I have ILS 1. Yes. Okay, so aircraft is largely configured the right way. Gear, brakes, flaps, lights. Yeah, we're good. Just checking the procedures book. 24. I need to get down to 200, thank you. In fact, 180 would be better. Yeah, 180 would be just fine. Okay, there's the turn on Adam. And that's going to take us to a 107 course. That makes sense. Oh, no, what did I do here? Oh, should be 270. Why? Why? Oh, okay, GDM is 360 first. I overshot. But that's okay, I'm not steering by that one, that's just my emergency numbers. So let's just dial that back to 0. For now. For neatness sake. And then my next cross GDM at 7,000, and then drop to 4,000. Alright. Where am I? Man, there's a bunch of other aircraft around here. So, okay, so you can see what we're doing here. So, we're out to here, then turning around and coming straight back in. So that's the reason I got from here to there to sort out altitudes. So that's fine. I'm just going to tuck that off to my other monitor. Hey, Jethbro. It's a Avro RJ100. Give you the quick look on the outside here. Since I got a moment or two while I'm just flying waypoint to waypoint. So, 4 Rolls-Royce turbojets. It's a 1980s aircraft. So it's essentially one of the last designs that's pre-GPS. So, pretty advanced computer for its day in terms of its flight management system, but pretty crude by anything built from 2000 and on. Yeah, BA146, RJ100, depending which way. This is technically the RJ100, the Avro license version. Yeah, there's that. I don't know. This flight alone, which isn't that long, I've had this plane try and tear out one of its turbines twice. So, yeah. We're good at 180 knots. I've got both dials on ILS. Just taking the time to get out to the turnaround, and then we can start the approach. The star for this area is a little bit... yeah. The star for this area is a little bit convoluted, so first time really flying it. One of these days I'm going to take the time to actually set up a command that, you know, exclamation mark FP and exclamation mark fly, or exclamation mark plane to give out the stats in channel, but I keep forgetting to do it. It's one of those things when I grow up and be a real streamer, you know. Alright, how am I doing? This is looking okay. This last leg is a little bit of a jog, but that's alright. Yeah, we ought to be, okay, there's our turnaround, so we ought to start our switch back here any moment. So we're just passing north of Shirley Airport, local regional commuter. So Gothbro, you a avid flight simmer yourself? So Swig is a 106 at 180 knots. Okay, yeah, I'm a little slow for this rally point, but that's fine. Very cool. Yeah, it's something I've gotten back into. Been at this point, I'm somewhere between 100 and 200 hours worth of messing around with flight simulator with FSX. So, but absolutely loving it. It's turned out to be one of my favorite hobbies. So my VA, this is sort of one of the aircraft. You know, this sort of when you hit captain level, which is less than between 100 and 200 hours, I think it is. With my VA, one of the aircraft that's available is this one, because it's a medium range commuter, medium range jet. Can't do transatlantic with it, but you can do just about all over North America with it if you plan your route right. Oh, nice little plane. I opted for the payware version just because I've really enjoy just going through the startup process and managing the buttons. Okay, yeah. Warbirds? That's cool. What are you flying? What's your favorite military ride? A2A. Interesting choice. Skyhawk, yeah? Alright, almost there. And then things get busy. Alright, there's the turn onto Swig, which should be a right-hand turn to 107. Yeah, 107. We'll just switch that around now. And I want to be down at 180 knots. That's cool. Very cool. Okay, I've heard good things about A2A. The P-51, you say? Okay. I don't have anything from A2A yet, but yeah, I've heard about them before. Alright, I do apologize, folks. At this point, this aircraft has bitten me too many times on approaches to other airports, so I'm going to have to pretty much ignore chat for a couple of minutes and focus on the landing here. Yeah, we're 178. Steering to intercept. I need to come down to 4,000 feet. Stop that. 1,000 feet per minute. Landing lights are on. Okay, going to full flaps. Dropping the airspeed down to 160. Whoops, 160, thank you, not 150. This plane flies mostly like a brick at 150. Yeah, I technically can get away with it, but again, I've just had this plane misbehave on me at the listed airspeeds. Airframe anti-icing off. Okay, that's the 4,000 foot intercept. Next waypoint, then we descend to 3,000, and we should be able to go ILS at that point. Okay, not bad. Okay, there it is. So we should start that turn here right shortly. I really do wish this worked. It's one of the only emissions in the in this payware that that I actually miss is the having TACAS terrain. But that's fine. It's not crucial. It would just be cool. The black display is a little jarring every time I look over at it. So then what's going to happen is we're going to turn onto a 150, and we should be good for approach. Pretty much right out of the can. So we'll see. And then I need to, so the idea is I need to basically immediately level change to 3000 and initiate my approach. And yeah, should pick up the ILS. We'll see here. Good. Yeah, okay, so I've got ILS on both radios. So I can switch over to the locator. Here we are. I'm now tracking ILS-1 over here. Tracking ILS-1 there. Very good. This plane will auto-land. I've just discovered it's incredibly cranky doing so. So what I usually do is let the FMS get me most of the way to the runway, and then take over and hand fly the last minute or so in. Amongst other things, the auto throttle has proven cranky in the past, and the gear and the automated gear lowering has been cranky as well. I suspect it's an operator error where I've misconfigured something possibly here, but I don't know for sure. So all I do know is it's just safer for me to hand fly the last little bit of the approach. And when you see what my landings look like, you'll know how bad it is when the computer does it. There. So 5 nautical miles to turn. So that puts the airport, yep, right there. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good at this point. There we go. Starting step down to 3,000 feet. As soon as we steady up on the new course, and that's should be our 150 final. Thank you. Oops. Really? Gonna start complaining about memory. Okay. Yep, looking good. And then when I cross here, I want to set descent to 1700 and arm approach. I'd forgotten about the Maldi waypoint. There we go. Come on now. There we go. Level change. And when I cross Maldi, I should be pretty much right in the zone. Okay, so stars are a little bit more, take a little bit more time on the far end to fly when you're coming into a new airport, but it certainly makes getting down to the ground real simple.
Radio altimeter.
Thank you. Yep, there's my 2,000 foot. There's my... Okay, we're good. And at this step of the game, I ought to be good to arm approach. Computer has the aircraft. And there are VAIs, that's good. Confirm flaps. Flaps are all the way down. I'm well below glide path. There we go, recovering glide path. Two reds, two whites. Yeah, it's looking good. A little bit high. Okay.
1,000. Too low. Terrain.
Yep, got it.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Okay. Autopilot off.
Terrain.
Auto thrust off. I have the aircraft. And we'll just... as long... Yeah, we're looking okay.
500.
Yep.
Approaching decision height.
Yep. Decision is go, we're landing. Below glide path.
100. 60. 50. 40.
There's no thrust reverser on this, so you really do have to come in at low speed.
20. 10.
Here we are. Now, stop rolling. Come on, 100 knots. I'm running out of runway here. 80 knots. We're stuck on the ground. Come on, slow down.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There we go.
we'll be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
What I'm going to do is just run it down to the end, and then I'll turn, come back on Charlie.
And overhead bins for all personal belongings that you brought on board.
Not a bad landing.
Please take care when opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted.
A little bit of a crab, but yeah. Turns out the wind had shifted while I was coming into my approach, and I didn't notice. I've got about a 10-knot tailwind. It's coming in basically on the port stern quarter. So yeah, giving me a little bit of a side push I wasn't expecting. And then just to add insult to injury, not only was it pushing me off to a side, it was of course making my glide slope longer than I thought it was. And there we go. So we'll get off the runway here. And we'll hold up momentarily. And exit lights, runway light, taxi. There we go. All right. It is 9:34. It is 5 degrees in Boston. 8:34 Boston local time. And we can bring our flaps all the way in. And this is an active runway we're crossing here, so we're going to hold up. No, don't see anybody. There are a couple of other aircraft in the neighborhood, but I don't see them around the airport. There's 2 aircraft actually on the ground here getting ready for takeoff, but nobody's on a runway right now. So we're clear to taxi. And I'm just going to take the Charlie taxiway straight across to the terminal. Alright. Stop wobbling all over the runway here, Michelle. I was just taking a minute and double checking my after landing procedures, making sure I hadn't missed anything, but no, aircraft is in a proper after landing configuration. Nobody that way or that way. So that jet you see parked up ahead there, that's another player. Flying American Airlines today, according to the info, and the rain just started. Boston, I hate you. Just like that, can't see a thing. Well, Okay, so there's a Skyhawk crossing the runway, but he's just going by. He's at 7,300 feet, so he's just overrunning. That's nice. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Boston. Oops, wrong one. Alright, that gets us on the ground. We can shut our... Yeah, I know. Hang on. I'll deal with it. Thank you. Alright. So now the administration part of the flight. New York just came live. That's cool. So we will disconnect from the VATSIM network. We will... Oops, where'd my CA cars go? We will stop logging. 494 miles, not bad. Save log. And send the log off to the airline. And log accepted, which means it wasn't a crash. Yay. Alright, 9:34, so 6 minutes. Instant replay. So I want to back up 6 times 360, 480 seconds.
40.
Nope, apparently not. 480, so 520. 540. Oops, stop that.
Too low, terrain.
And we'll watch from the tower. I don't remember the weather being crap on approach, but that's fine. Floated a little bit there. Okay, so 3-point landing, not 2. That's a common thing I do with this aircraft. I haven't figured out exactly how much nose-up angle I need to have the plane still land while, okay, that's fine. Alrighty, well that's cool. So that's that. And last thing to check, I'm going to take a moment here and Canadian Airlines. Oops, wrong button. And fleet, come on now, logs. operations. There we are. Logbook. Why was that hard? It's not like you don't do this every day. And still, okay, 344 feet per minute. Wow, that was heavy. Yeah. Okay. I thought I came down more gently than that. I'm puzzled. Gonna have to figure out what it is I do wrong. My landing rates in this aircraft are all almost 100 feet per second higher than I'd like to see them. So 100, 150 feet per second, or feet per minute higher than I'd like to see them. So I'm clearly doing something wrong, but I can't quite figure out what. Alright. Well, learning. Yep, that's cool. Now, come on now. I told to put the stairs out. Why didn't it do that? There we go. So, rainy day in Boston, ladies and gentlemen. But that's okay. Thanks very much for joining me on this morning flight from Halifax to Boston. Thank you very much for flying Canadian Express. We appreciate your patronage. Keep in mind, with Canadian Express, you can fly virtually anywhere. And I'm Richard Victory, Richard Victory Gaming, and that's it for the live stream today. Probably will be flying again tonight. There is, of course, Moncton Monday is on tonight, so I'll at least be doing a short haul, possibly with my my Dash 8, just for something different. If you're along, I'd love to see you. Don't forget to hit the follow button if you haven't done that already. It will let you know when I'm streaming. Usually doing flight sims or tactical games or things like that. Might also later this week have a guest star, Corbria, flying with me, playing a bit of War Thunder in our Beaufort bomber tag team. So stay tuned, more to come. But wrapping up for today. All the best, folks. Take care. Bye bye.